Today is Friday, March 28th, 2025. It's about 9:45, and we are at Greeley Ponds Trailhead. The parking lot was accessible. Maybe not if you had a sedan, but there's no berm or anything. There's one other car besides us here. And we're gonna head out and do the Osceolas today. There's a storm coming. I think Mount Washington has a winter storm watch from 8 o'clock tonight until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And then Sunday is going to have freezing rain, and then Monday is going to be raining. So whatever trail conditions I encounter today are not going to be what they are in the future. So we're going to head up to Mount Osceola Trail and then take that up to East Osceola, which is a nice steep climb. And then once up on the ridge, go over to Osceola, and it's an out and back. We've got a down tree first thing. All right, we're off. It's about 34 degrees right now. It's supposed to be in the 20s up on the summit of Osceola with pretty brisk winds. So we'll see how it is. We're carrying snowshoes, micro spikes, and full crampons. So we'll see what we need. We're about 6/10 of a mile in. We just stopped and put on spikes. I think the person ahead of me is still bare booting at this junction, but you know, we kept him off just because I wanted to see what the water crossings looked like. And for the most part, it was bare rock, although there was one rock that was ice covered and I couldn't tell. And I almost, I fell down, but I didn't go in the water, so I guess that's a win for me. So you could definitely wear spikes right from the car, but you would encounter a little bit of open on the water crossings. But I think coming back, I'm going to keep them on all the way back to the car because there is ice underneath a layer of snow here. And you just can't tell where it is. But in any case, trail is firm. There's really no monorail, which is a little surprising. I thought there'd be some down low, but nope. And you can hear the wind whipping up high, so hopefully it will die down a little, but it's not really forecast to. We are at the split now, so Greeley Ponds Trail will continue out this way. And 2.5 miles to the summit of Osceola, 1.5 to east. There's a steep climb there going up to east. And then right here is the intersection of a ski trail. So sometimes it's better to park in the winter at the ski trail, and then you can walk the road a short distance and come up the trail, or you can take the ski trail, but it's snowshoe. In the winter, you got to wear snowshoes on it because it's a ski trail. So you can see maybe some blue blazes heading that way. And it's a more direct shot right down to the Kank going on the ski trail. This is basically a straight line. All right, we have on spikes. I'm sort of considering snowshoes just for the televators. I don't know, I think maybe we will. People ahead of us, I think there's 2 of them, are still bare booting. All right, we're gonna keep climbing. We are a little over 2 miles in, and this is the viewpoint looking down at Greeley Pond. That's one of them. The other one, I think, is out of view right here. North Tri-Pyramid with a slide. Passaconaway right here. Shikorowa and Middle Sister right there. This is Mount Kankamagus. I think that's the K2 cliff. And then this is like an area that's like an open patch. Maybe it was a slide at some point. I don't want to go out there right now. doesn't look very stable to me. And then there's that tree in the center. Right behind it is part of the presidentials. I think that's Eisenhower to the left of it. I can't tell. And then to the right of that is Kerrigan, and then the Hancocks are over kind of obstructed right there. The trail is quite steep getting to here, and we continue to climb up there. We'll get off of this kind of open patch, go back into the woods, and we're about 3 or 4 tenths from the summit. Before we get there, there's a viewpoint out to the right, so we're gonna go check that out. 2 other hikers on trail with us today. They're just doing East Peak, and we just passed them. So we put on snowshoes as soon as we pretty much junctioned with Mount Osceola Trail, because we knew it was going to be steep and it's pretty mushy, especially in the sun. So far snowshoes are the right thing to do. We're not getting any botting yet, and yeah, it's slow going because it's a lot of climb. We haven't hiked in a while, but it's a beautiful day for it. We're at the viewpoint right below East Peak of Osceola, which is right there. This is the main peak over here, the chimney down in this area, and then what do we have? Middle and west. I can't see middle. This is the west peak right there, and then Osceola with the snow on it right there. It's a little breezy right here. And then of course the Kinsman's over here, and Franconia Ridge over in here with the Lincoln Slide. And then I'm gonna fall down here. Owl's Head is kind of right there, the end of it, and Garfield is kind of right there. I don't know if I get a better view of Garfield right in there. All right, and then over here is looking out the way that last view was towards Mount Kinkomagus. Oh, there's a better view of the presidentials, but it's obstructed by the trees. Okay, so we're very close to East Peak now. One last little push. We just stopped and layered back up, put on gloves because the wind right here is killer. All right, we're up at the summit. Snow is still high up here. I don't know how many feet deep, but the cairn, which is usually good size, is buried right here. There's a pretty deep post hole from a snowshoe right next to me. And if you go back a little bit, you get pretty good views out in here, looking to Shikorowa, past Conaway, the Tri-Pyramids, North Tri-Pyramid. I didn't zoom in at all, is right through there with past Conaway behind it. So there's still a lot of snow up here. Oh, I can see, I don't know what that is, a lake, Squam Lake, Winnipesaukee, I don't know, out in this area. Oh, all right. So it's a little over 2 hours, kind of slow going for us, but I mean, I'm not trying to set a speed record today. And trail conditions were pretty good, I would say. Definitely good for snowshoes. And we're gonna head over now. I'm assuming that we're gonna take the bypass to the chimney. Somebody did a trail report on Sunday and said the chimney was quite icy. And since I'm wearing snowshoes and I don't want to change out if I don't have to, I don't think I want to climb that with snowshoes on, but we'll go check it out. Nice, beautiful. In the sun, it's really warm. We're at the chimney now. There's one person ahead of us. He passed us. Moving right along with snowshoes. And I'm thinking I might go up the chimney. Let's see. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I am wearing snowshoes though. think so, because this is the bypass to the bypass here, which is all bony. And then, let's see. This is the bypass. It looks like he went up, and I'm going to go up also. It's almost like corn snow right here. It's all melted. All right, this should be not really a problem. We're up at the viewpoint here where the fire tower used to be on Osceola, but we're going to go to the summit, which is out this way. There's actually footings for a different tower further in. Anyway, summit is not anything exciting because it's just a rock off the side of the trail. It might have a view, especially if there's snow on it, but it's not anything special. Wow, this is like, where am I? Am I off? Wow, there's a blowdown right here.
Somebody has gone to the left here.
Okay. Yeah, this is not the normal way. It looks like they thought this was the summit. Summit's on the other side though.
It is.
Yeah. But there's a bunch of blowdowns right now, so kind of weird. This is right where I was. I gotta get over there. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off and duck under this. All right, we've come back to the fire tower area, but we came down below to kind of get out of the wind. We're gonna sit and have our lunch. This is the chimney area, I think, is right in this area. And then East Peak is over here. Nice view of the presidentials. Maybe I'll shoot on my phone so I can zoom in a little more. The arrow slide over here. Kerrigan. Ooh, some breeze right there. Shakurawa. And then past Conway is right behind North Tri-Pyramid, Middle and South Tri-Pyramid. That's Sandwich Mountain right here, and the edge of the ski area, Waterville Valley ski area. I'm gonna sit and have lunch. So this is on my iPhone. It's a little closer zoomed in. And the GoPro. I'd say the winds are less than they called for them to be anyway, but we're going to be down here out of the wind. So, lunchtime. So we just got by the chimney and we took the bypass going down. So did the guy that was ahead of us. And all three of us took off our snowshoes to do it and then put them back on. It was down to bare rock and some slush. There's just no way to do it with snowshoes on. But, all right, so now we have to climb back up to East. And from there, it'll be all downhill. We are back at the junction with Greeley Ponds Trail now. And it's very soft. There were 2 people that went to East Peak, and us and another person who went out to Mount Osceola. The 3 of us wore snowshoes. I think the other 2 also wore snowshoes. Eventually, they put them on. And right now we're keeping ours on, even though we spiked in this far because things are so soft. But it's a little over a mile. Get back out. And it's nice and warm down here. trail is soft, but it's doing okay with snowshoes. We're not clumping up at all, so that's nice. And, should be about 7 miles or so. There's a couple water crossings near the car, and they are flowing freely, rock hoppable, semi-bridged, one of them. Yeah, that's it. And tomorrow there'll be more snow. So everything, and then there'll be rain. So everything's gonna change, but pretty nice.